want to discredit you. For what?
Because I'm a dangerous man. Because I know too much about the truth.
Now, that end-of-the-world apocalyptic garbage, you right?
You know my work? I was right about Dallas, wasn't I?
How were you right?
Are you familiar with the hantavirus, Agent Mulder?
Yeah, it was a deadly virus spread by field mice in the southwestern United States several years ago.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. Are you familiar with what the Federal Emergency Management Agency's real power is? FEMA allows the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency. Think about that. What is an agency with such broad sweeping power doing managing a small viral outbreak in suburban Texas?
You're saying it wasn't such a small outbreak?
No. I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
Well, what was it? What was it?
When we were young men in the military, your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare, a virus.
What killed those men?
What killed them, I won't even write about. We have no context for what killed those men, or any appreciation of the scale at which it'll be unleashed in the future.
A plague?
Plague to end all plagues, Agent Mulder. A silent weapon for a quiet war. The systematic release of an indiscriminate organism, for which the men who will bring it on still have no cure. They've been working on this for 50 years. While the rest of the world have been fighting crooks and commies, these men have been secretly negotiating a planned Armageddon.
Negotiating with whom?
I think you know. The timetable has been set. It'll happen on a holiday when people are away from their homes. The president will declare a state of emergency, at which time all government,
Alright, Shalom. Let's start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yah, Bashim, Yahshua, Bashim, Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops, great millstone that told me this truth that will well. Shalom to the elect, scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Kodash Payah, and here, you know, as the clip you just saw that I recorded on the screen came from a show, you know, the X-Files. You know, a lot of people are aware of that, right? That was an episode that was done back in 98, man. 1998. You know? And see, that's why the scriptures tell you, be not ignorant of Satan's devices. Right? That's in the King James Version. In the NLT it says, be not ignorant. No. We're basically we are aware of his evil schemes. You know, because with the patterns of the things that he's been doing, even if you go back to the smallpox, go back to the bubonic plague, going back to all of that, right? Who's been doing that? You see? And now it's another V going around, but also it's different ones, right? Like the scriptures have said, there be many plagues that's not written in this book. You know? You got all these people out panicking. Well, just, you know, whistleblowers basically, you know, just reporting on what's going on. But also it shows you in the Simpsons as well, because this happened during the time of 2020. See, I forget what that was called though. Event 200 or something like that, where they were showing basically, like they had a meeting or whatever, they were showing the systematic plan of, you know, a V going around, the causes, how to control it, things like that. But it was a trial, like it was a meeting for a trial. And then Bill Gates spoke about the next one that might come. It's going to be severe. They're going to notice. And these people, man, they still so naive in believing it. You know, and some people say this might, the next V, if you will, might be the symptoms of what they have taken during 2020. I'm going to say that again. It might be the symptoms of what they have taken during 2020. Because now you got to understand, like now they're going to start activating these type of towers and things like that. So now, whatever they put in the people during the C19, now it could be, because then people will be so persuaded to believe that is real if you actually see somebody just drop that in front of you. Now it's like, oh yeah, I actually see, but really in reality, they're not seeing a bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? And this is why Lord said, watch and pray. Watch what? What do you, Yahweh Shai in the book of the St. Matthew 24 chapter, he said wars and rumors of wars, pestilence, plague, divisions, things of that nature. So, you know, we're watching for current events. We're watching for how everything ties in together and what is formulating, you know, to bring the ultimate agenda or whatever, you know, through order out of chaos, problem, reaction, solution. Those are these tactics that they you know, plot on, right? Then you have over here this dude. Oh no, Salaki, not. It says 8 new cases of H have been confirmed by World Health, but they're saying, oh, it's that the 40%, you know, it's 4 people out of 10 that can get it or catch it. That's nothing but just fear tactics. You see, because during 2020 they said that was the worst, but yet now people don't gotta wear a mask. But yet they're gonna fall all over again and believe in a new name. You see? But see, we when you read these scriptures, the prophecies that's written in it, it's basically telling you how it's gonna lead up to the hour of temptation. Because if people are so vulnerable, our temptation, they had to honk or not. But see how vulnerable people were to take a needle over a job. Imagine when people are actually losing jobs and there's a food crisis. There's not going to be no hesitation, especially a woman with a single mom with children, you know? Or a patient that need medicine, can't get insurance because he ain't got the... See, what Esau is doing, these elites, they're attacking everybody from all angles, you know? I'm going to get a precept. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter... No, hold on. 15... And I could start at 10. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So you know, during the time of Esdras, when the Lord showed, because the Lord showed him many visions, you know, but at that time it was way after the plagues of Egypt. So that's Showing right there that that's a future prophecy. Because it's so simple. He came after Moses, and he's saying, quoting this. So it means it's a future tense, right? Because remember, scriptures say what? The Lord changes not. So you did it before, you're going to do it again. So this is a future tense, right? He's bringing the plagues now. As before. Because are we not in modern day Sodom and Egypt? As it tells you in the book of Revelation. This is the verse 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plagues. It's like it with the plague. And punishment that God shall bring upon it. And punishment. You know what that reminds me of? Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 19, and verse 29. It says, Be ye afraid of the sword, and for Salakia. Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment. So, the sword could come in many fashions, forms, to destroy somebody in many different ways, shaping, So, but it's a judgment. It's a punishment. It's to show you, like, to bring you back to the Lord, but majority of people is not gonna get it, right? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which are the biblical Israelites, which is why you have to suffer the second death, just like how people, we head into the hour of temptation, all right, and that's why the Lord said, what? Many are called, few are chosen. There's going to be a few that truly believe in this and be chosen, right, for salvation. So, and it's heavy because when that came out, there's so many whistleblowers that came out with information to, what's that word? To expose it, basically. That quick, because what? Hey, Lord said what? We knowledge shall increase, basically, and that's twofold. But I'm gonna say it like this: information is out here. You got so much information in the tip of your thumbs to look something up. You got a lot of dumb people with smartphones. So the information's out. That's how the Lord uses these devices, technology, to expose things that people see here on the media, And but we know it's all prophetic prophecy where this has to happen with these new climate lockdowns. It's all part of that sustainable development plan, which is going to be a new world order, as far as order out of chaos. So they got to cause a chaos to usher in a new order of things. You see? And hey, people are simple about things. Simple believeth every word. And there's going to be more people that go along and get along to make ends meet, survive, or whatever. But the scripture said, what? Follow not a multitude to do evil. Just because more people than not is doing it, don't make it right. So just pay attention to your circle. Just pay attention to these things that's going on, information, and connect it and filter it through the scriptures, man, because that's what's going to allow you to actually understand why these things are happening. Like we just read, it's a judgment, it's a punishment to those that are, unaware. That's why the scripture said, what? The Lord shall come like a thief in the night. So when a sudden false, to the flag or whatever situation may occur, to them it's sudden. So it's gonna come to them like somebody being disrupted in their sleep at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Because these people are asleep. And this is disrupting their sleep. So now they like, yo, what's going on? But the elected's not gonna get caught like a thief in the night, because we're aware, we're watching. Alright? So anyway, with that, I'm gonna say, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call upon him while he is near. Isaiah 55:6. Till next time, I'm gonna say shalom.